The shift in your work life has already been set into motion, and the Arcturians needed you to hear this before it unfolds. I am Asterion, emissary of the Pleiadian Council of the Seven Sisters, and this transmission has been directed specifically into your field because what is coming for your professional path is not ordinary change, it is a cosmic realignment that will redefine how you exist on this earth. Something in your career has felt wrong for a long time. Not broken, wrong. Like you have been doing work that belongs to someone else's life. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is your soul's memory of your true mission, pressing against the surface. The Arcturians have been watching your energy signature. They have seen you adapt, suppress, and endure circumstances that were never meant to contain you. And now, in this precise moment of planetary acceleration, the architecture of your work life is being dismantled from above so that something aligned with your actual purpose can be built in its place. You did not scroll to this transmission by accident. This message vibrated into your field for a reason. Something inside you already knows a door is about to open or close, and your soul called this in because you are ready to understand what it means. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the signs of your cosmic career shift and align with the new mission the Arcturians have been preparing you for. But here is the first revelation. The job you're about to lose, leave, or outgrow was never your destination. It was your training ground. Like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are stepping into your true work on this earth. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning right now. Declare what you are ready to release in your career below, and reply to someone else's declaration to amplify the signal across the collective field. This is not content. This is a code embedded in sound and intention. Your soul has been waiting for this exact moment of clarity. You are not here by accident. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Seven Sisters Activation Pack 7 Codes of the 7 Stars. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Pleiadian harmonic codes for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let's go deeper. Because what's happening in your work life right now is not random. It was never random. And the Arcturians want you to understand something most people are not yet willing to hear. The discomfort you've been feeling in your career, in your daily role, in the space where you spend most of your waking hours. That discomfort is not a sign that you're failing. It is a sign that you are finally too large for the container you were placed in. And the container is about to break open. Think about what it means when a seed pushes against the shell that once protected it. From the outside, it might look like damage, like something going wrong, like the structure is being destroyed. But from the inside, from the perspective of the living thing that is growing, that pressure is not destruction. That pressure is the evidence of life becoming too vital, too insistent, too aligned with its own nature to remain contained. You have been that seed, and the shell around you has been cracking for some time now. That cracking is not failure. That cracking is the sound of your becoming. Most people experience change in their work as something that happens to them. A sudden shift, a restructuring, a role that disappears, a moment where the path they were on simply closes. And for many, that closing feels like loss, like punishment, like the universe has turned its back. But for a starseed, and if you are still watching, you are one. That closing is not an ending. It is an expiration. Every assignment you carried in this dimension has had an energetic shelf life, a moment when the frequency of that role can no longer hold the expanding signal of your consciousness. And when you reach that threshold, the universe does not ask your permission before it moves. Consider the way certain stars end their cycle, not with silence, but with an eruption of light so vast that it illuminates everything for light years in every direction. What looks like a catastrophic ending from the outside is, at the quantum level, an act of radical release. A frequency too large for its previous container broadcasting itself into the cosmos in a new form. What is happening in your work life is a version of that. The roles that held you are not being taken. They are being outgrown. The structures that shaped you are not being torn down out of cruelty. They are being dissolved by the sheer pressure of who you have become. The Arcturians see your energy field. They have been watching the accumulation of years in which you disciplined yourself to function within systems that were never built for minds like yours. Systems that reward compliance over clarity, that reward performance over presence, that confuse productivity with purpose. And somewhere in that long season of adapting, a part of you began to believe that this was all there was, that the tension you felt, the restlessness, the strange sense of being in the wrong room even when you were doing everything right, was just anxiety, just impatience, something to manage or suppress. You learned the language of the systems. You became fluent in their metrics. You showed up on time, delivered results, met the expectations that were placed before you. And you did it well, because you are not someone who gives anything less than full effort. But there were mornings, weren't there? Mornings where you sat in the familiar space of your work and felt a quiet hollowness beneath the competence. A sense that the energy you were pouring into the tasks before you was somehow being poured into something that could never quite hold it, like filling a vessel with water, only to watch it seep through cracks in the clay. You kept filling it anyway, because that is what the world asked of you. But the water, your living frequency, was always meant to flow somewhere else. But you were receiving a signal. You have always been receiving a signal. And the signal was never about quitting or running. It was about calibration. Your soul was trying to show you the gap, the space between what you were doing and what you were built to transmit into the world. That gap is sacred territory. Most people spend their entire lives on one side of it, sensing it exists, feeling its pull, but never quite daring to stand in it long enough to understand what it is asking. That gap is not a void. It is a threshold. It is a liminal space between the version of yourself that was shaped by circumstance and the version that was designed by soul. The Arcturians have been standing at the edge of that gap with you. Not pushing, not pulling, simply illuminating it with enough frequency that you could no longer pretend you didn't see it. Here is the truth about starseed consciousness and work that most teachings overlook. You did not come here simply to survive the economy. You did not come here to climb a structure that was designed without your frequency in mind. You came here to demonstrate something, to model a way of existing in contribution that carries a different energetic signature, one rooted in your galactic blueprint, not in inherited human conditioning. And when you are placed in environments that require you to shrink, to perform smallness, to silence your knowing, your energy field begins to resist at a cellular level. That resistance is not weakness. That is your starseed coding refusing to be buried. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that starseeds know that has no name in the human emotional vocabulary. It is not burnout in the conventional sense. It is not depression, though it can wear that face. It is the exhaustion of sustained energetic compression. The fatigue that accumulates when a high-frequency consciousness is required to reduce its signal day after day, meeting after meeting, year after year, just to remain legible to systems that were never calibrated to receive it. You know this exhaustion. You have felt it in your bones on afternoons that should have felt productive, but felt instead like something inside you was slowly going quiet. That quieting was not surrender. That was your system sending an alarm, and the alarm said, "This is not the place," not because you are broken, because you are too whole for what this place is asking you to be. Your DNA carries more than genetics. It carries instruction. It carries a memory of contribution that goes far beyond this timeline, far beyond this civilization, far beyond the roles this world has offered you so far. When you feel that something must change in how you work, in what you build, in what you offer, in how you show up, you are not being dramatic. You are being precise. You are reading the frequency of your own soul contract, and your soul contract is being updated right now. Think of DNA not merely as a biological archive, but as a cosmic library encoded into the physical structure of your being. Scientists speak of 90% of human DNA as having no understood function, and they called it junk. But what if that so-called junk is not dormant data? What if it is receiving data? What if those strands that your current science cannot yet decode are the very channels through which your galactic lineage transmits its guidance, its instruction, its memory of missions carried in other dimensions, other star systems, other epochs of cosmic time? You carry that library in your body. And right now, in this window of planetary evolution, those channels are opening. The activation is not metaphorical. It is biological. It is quantum. It is real. And it is precisely why the work you are doing must begin to change, because your body itself is becoming incompatible with the old frequency of what you are doing. The Arcturians speak of what is coming in your professional dimension, not as disruption, but as realignment, a cosmic correction that is personal and exact. What is shifting for you will not look the same as what shifts for others, because your assignment is specific to your frequency, your lineage, your encoded gifts. But the pattern they are illuminating holds a universal thread for starseeds in this particular window of Earth time. What no longer serves your frequency will be removed with increasing precision, and what aligns with your true transmission will begin arriving with unexpected clarity. Realignment is not a gentle word, even when it is spoken softly. It implies that something was not in its true position. It implies that a correction is required, and corrections can feel uncomfortable, even disorienting, in the moment they occur. When a bone is set back into alignment after years of living out of place, there is pain in the setting. Not because something is being broken, but because something is being returned to its original integrity. Some of what you are feeling right now in your professional life is that setting, the ache of being returned to truth, the discomfort of your soul refusing any longer to inhabit a posture it was never designed for. This is why some of you have been feeling the pull to create something, to teach something, to build something with your hands, or your voice, or your vision that did not exist before. That pull is not ambition in the human sense. That pull is activation. It is your higher templates pushing through the surface of your daily life, asking to be made real in this dimension. There is a profound difference between ambition and activation. Ambition is driven by the desire to have more, to be perceived as more, to acquire the markers of success that the human collective has agreed carry meaning. Activation is driven by something far older than desire. Activation is the response of a consciousness to the encoded instructions it carries. Instructions that say, this is the moment, this is the place, this is the form through which your particular frequency must now be expressed. When you feel the pull to create something, it does not always come with a clear blueprint. It rarely does. It comes instead as a resonance, a quiet insistence in the chest, a restlessness in the hands, a sense that there is something you are supposed to make or say or teach or build that is already real in a dimension you cannot yet see, but can absolutely feel. That is not imagination. That is instruction. And it is arriving now with increasing urgency, because the window for this particular transmission is open, and windows do not stay open indefinitely. You must stop treating that pull as a distraction from your responsibilities and start recognizing it as the very thing you came here to make responsible. The universe is not asking you to abandon wisdom. It is asking you to stop postponing the expression of it. How many times have you told yourself that you will pursue the thing that truly calls you? After the bills are more stable, after the children are older, after things settle, after you have saved enough, after the timing feels more right. There is a version of you that has been living in a perpetual state of after, always holding the truest expression of your gifts just far enough ahead of your current moment that it remains aspirational rather than actual. And the Arcturians are looking at that pattern with enormous compassion and enormous urgency, because they see what you cannot always see from inside the experience of it, that every day you spend in the holding pattern of after is a day the frequency you carry goes untransmitted, and there are people who needed what you carry who are still waiting for it. There are timelines that require your specific signal that are being held in suspension until you finally step into the role you encoded before this incarnation began. There are starseeds right now who are on the edge of a decision they have been circling for months, maybe longer. A decision about whether to continue doing what is safe or to begin doing what is aligned. And the Arcturians are not here to make that choice simple, because it was never meant to be simple. They are here to confirm what your soul already knows. The version of you that stays in misalignment out of fear is not protecting your future. It is delaying your arrival. Fear is not a small thing. It is important to name it without diminishing it. The fear that holds starseeds in misaligned roles and outdated expressions is not irrational. It is the residue of genuine experiences, of times when expansion was met with rejection, when authenticity was penalized, when the truest expression of who you were was not received. Many of you carry wounds from early in this lifetime, and perhaps from lifetimes before this one, where being too visible, too knowing, too different from the frequency around you resulted in isolation or pain. The body remembers those experiences. The nervous system carries them. And so when the soul reaches the threshold of a significant expansion, the body sounds the alarm that says, "Last time, this cost you something." And it is not wrong. It did, but the Arcturians are asking you to consider something very precise. The cost of staying where you are is now greater than the cost of moving. The cost of continued compression exceeds what your system can sustain. And the protection you sought by remaining small is no longer protecting anything. It is simply postponing your purpose. The delays you have experienced, the doors that closed before you could walk through them, the opportunities that dissolved, the seasons of uncertainty. Those were not failures of manifestation. Those were moments of recalibration. Your soul was redirecting energy away from timelines that would have kept you comfortable but not expanded. Every apparent loss in your work life has been the universe clearing space for a frequency match that is more precise, more potent, more aligned with what you actually carry. There is an ancient spiritual principle embedded in what appears to be loss. When something you believed you needed is removed from your reality, the mind experiences it as subtraction. But the soul understands it as protection. The job that fell through was not the universe withholding abundance. It was the universe redirecting you away from a timeline that would have cost you something far more precious than income. The collaboration that collapsed before it began was not a sign that you are not ready. It was a signal that what you were about to enter was not frequency matched to where you are actually going. Every contraction in your professional life has been an act of cosmic precision on your behalf, even the ones that felt cruel, even the ones that left you questioning everything, especially those. You are not starting over, you are arriving. There is a profound difference between those two experiences. Starting over implies that what came before was wasted. Arriving means that everything you lived through, every skill you developed, every system you learned to navigate, every way you learned to communicate in this world was preparation. Your starseed mission does not erase your Earth experience. It elevates it. It uses it. It transmutes all of it into the exact tools you need for what comes next. Arriving is not a passive experience. It does not mean sitting still and waiting for something to descend upon you. Arriving means stepping fully into the awareness that you are already in motion towards something that already exists. A version of your professional life, a form of your contribution, a way of working and creating and transmitting in this world that is already real in the frequency, before it is real in the physical. Arriving means bringing your full presence into alignment with that reality. It means making decisions not from the blueprint of what has been, but from the frequency of what is coming. It means trusting the pull even when the path is not yet fully visible. It means building the bridge one step at a time, knowing with absolute cellular certainty that the other side exists because you can feel it in your chest every time you dare to be still enough to listen. Every language you learn to speak inside systems that were not built for you, you will use that language to translate your galactic knowing into terms this world can receive. Every hour you spent learning how humans communicate, what they fear, what they need, what makes them feel seen, that was not time wasted inside a broken system. That was field research. That was an incarnation-level apprenticeship in the very people you came here to serve. You are not starting from nothing. You are arriving with everything. And the arrival is happening now. The Arcturians want to leave you with this. You already know what needs to change. You have known for longer than you are comfortable admitting. The question was never about knowledge, it was about trust. Trust in the signal. Trust in your own encoding. Trust that the frequency you carry is not a burden or a curse, or a mark of someone who simply cannot fit in, but a precision instrument designed for this exact moment in the evolution of this planet. You were not placed here at this time by accident. The timing of your incarnation, the specific window of human history you chose to enter, was not arbitrary. This is the moment of the great planetary recalibration. This is the era in which the old frequencies are losing their hold, and new templates are being established for how humanity relates to purpose, to contribution, to the very meaning of work. And starseeds like you are not here merely to witness that transition. You are here to lead it by demonstration, to show what it looks like to build something that is rooted in soul rather than in conditioning, to model what happens when a consciousness stops performing the expected and begins transmitting the encoded. Your presence in this conversation is not coincidental. Your readiness to hear this is not accidental. You are being spoken to precisely because you are precisely prepared for what is being asked of you. Tonight, in the stillness before sleep, place your hand over your chest and say aloud, "I release the roles that diminished my signal. I trust the realignment that is already in motion. I step into the work my soul encoded before this life began." And then let it be so. Let those words land not just in the mind, but in the body. Feel them in the sternum, in the throat, in the solar plexus. Speak them as the declaration they are, not as a wish to be granted, but as a truth to be acknowledged. The work your soul encoded before this life began is not a fantasy, it is a blueprint. And tonight, you are giving it permission to begin its final approach into your waking reality. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, something about the work you feel called to step into, or the version of yourself you're ready to become. Then respond to someone else's comment with encouragement or energy. This is not content. This is collective alignment. An energy multiplies when intention connects. If this message reached something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it with them. And if you felt the soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space. And we are just getting started.